Alright, we're playing Gravel, which is a new racing kind of off-road, dirty, intense kind of racing game with a ton of tracks. So obviously we have the Off-Road Masters, which is the campaign. We have the free race, where you just kind of go and race, and Xbox Live, where you battle against others in lobbies, which is kind of cool. I mean, if you like the racing games and you want the challenge of doing that, it's cool. The time attack, so that's where you try to set time scores and so forth across the different tracks in the world. As you can see, there are many levels, and there's weekly challenges where you can take on challenges of the week if that's your sort of thing. To take a look at the free racing, you can see we have a ton of levels across the globe, tons more to unlock, tons more to move through. And then you go inside, and each area has like just a pile of various locations and map kind of types. So there's a lot of content here if you like racing. So going forward, you pick your vehicle. You got a wide selection of options, different liveries you unlock as you progress and level. Racing options, you can change the type of environment, day, dusk, dawn. You can change the weather on some maps, have some rain, there's difficulties, you can change the cosmetic damage and kind of go as intense as you want. We're going to go through the campaign because I need to progress through it, and it's an easy way to show things off. So as you're playing, you kind of get this narration of what's going on. You do your debut, you try to get stars in the various episodes by playing through the levels and placing in certain spots. You don't have to be first, but you know, it's nice to win. And then you go into these like stadium circuits where it's like a special episode where you kind of like battle somebody out that they've set, like head-to-head battles. There's lots of different types of races available too. You know, we've got like kind of cross races, 1v1s, which would be the head-to-head. You've got like these smash ones where you're trying to go through a gate in order to get to certain places. It's like it lights up with a green arrow, you smash it, and then you go to the next one, and then it pops, like it's randomly, so there's like 3 or 4 of them that kind of pop up, and then the red ones are bad. You go through the green one. It's actually a neat sort of mode I don't think I've really seen in a racing game, so that's interesting. So you got lots of different options. Small races where it's like really fast, and you're kind of going up little dirt things where it's less about speed and more about precise corners and hitting those spots. And then there's ones where you have like longer races going over greater distances, which I think is kind of cool and more my preference. I personally like less track-based racing games, but this one's fine. It's actually kind of enjoyable. And I think visually it's not bad. There are some technical hiccups. You play some of the grass-based levels, you do notice the grass kind of popping in as you're driving, which is like, you know, you should have been able to fix that maybe or make it better. I don't know why you're having that issue. So we're racing on a bit of a shorter track, but not the shortest I've seen in here. And as you can see, the environments actually look pretty cool. They're all really grimy and dirt-based, which is nice, but you're still getting like a vibrancy in the colors. The cars are all bright and got all these little things going on, and then you can see the little fan stuff for these particular ones, which are cool. We got some fans on the side, which are nice. It seems like a bit of a lively experience as far as racing goes. And I need to actually get up here. So you're tracked on, you know, your score, your skidding, you're doing the jumps. There is also a rewind feature, which I'm sure I'll show at some point in this when I screw up. And then you're also, you know, racing against your time, your best laps. Obviously, you got a variety of things. There's like score-based ones where you're trying to get, well, I guess, time attack. So it's not really score, but it's like you're racing against yourself to get the clock. But you're still racing against others, which I find weird because you're not really having like a point of reference for what you're supposed to do. And then by the end, you're like, oh, I did do good, or I did do good. It just kind of would be nice to have some sort of point of reference for that. I mean, it's nice kind of in the shape of it. It's got, you know, in the sense that it's well-rounded. You get like huge backdrops, the tracks look good. There's lots of smaller details, the environments are nice. It's very much an arcade type of racer, though. It's not exactly going towards the realism. You get some options to kind of point it more towards that, but that's not what this kind of really is. It's very much an arcade-focused experience, which is fun. I did find that the rain racing is a bit weird. There's like this overlay they put that swaps based on where you're looking, if that makes sense, your driving direction. And it's kind of like a blanketed repetitive texture, and then on top of that there's the rain texture, so it's like a bit unsettling almost. Jeez, there we go. There we go, and we're rewinding, as you can see the rewind feature. Kind of going in play there. So I can salvage this. This is probably not going to be a good race for me. I didn't get off to the best of starts. And I keep hitting all the walls. Oh, wow, we were right near the ending. I did not know that. I was trying to rewind there. And I totally didn't pay attention. Well, that was absolute garbage. Obviously, there's difficulty choices as well. And you're leveling up, which, of course, as mentioned earlier, unlocks access to new vehicles and so forth. Let's go on the American tour and kind of show those off. The Alaska one's like, oh yeah, the smash out. Yeah, this is what I was talking about with the borders. And we'll do, I don't know, we'll do the Alpine one. Yeah, sure, let's do it. Gravel. I think it's fun to play. It's got a very interesting look to it, which I find is odd. So we're getting an Xbox One X enhancement on this, and that's what this is being played on. So we are getting the 4K. I think it looks pretty good, well detailed, but it's still, there's something like odd about the look of it too, which I find interesting. I don't know. And we're looking at a frame rate of 30 FPS. It's nice to have the 60 for driving, but I think visually it looks fine. And we're going to start racing. Okay, so we're going to hit all these spots, and as you can see, the arrows pop in. You smash them, and then you keep going. It's a lot more open on this one because you're going to make mistakes. It's kind of difficult actually because you're also racing against time and other players. Not like a multiplayer game, obviously, because it's a single, but I mean, you're racing against what the AI have, but you can't see what the AI has. So it kind of like, I don't know, I find that a bit odd that you don't have any sort of goal that you're working towards, or really a point of reference. Overall, I think Rebel, yep, that's a tough one. Is a fun sort of off-roading game. It's got a lot of maps to it, pile of vehicles. The races feel competitive. Ah, crap. That's not good. He's trying to get all the green ones this time. Real shame. It's hard to do, actually, because, you know, you're trying to drive and get that time, but you're also trying to get all the green. Oh, wow. That was a hard one. I think the vehicles, they look pretty well detailed. The environments look nice, but I think you're also seeing the pop-in as I completely look away as I'm looking at the grass. But you can kind of see how it's appearing along with the rocks in the distance, and it's like a little technical things like that, which shouldn't be an issue on this console. I mean, you should be able to make that something that's not a problem and it doesn't pop up. So that aspect's a little bit disappointing for sure. But you don't really see it on the other levels. I suppose that's because, you know, they don't have the grass to render. And you don't see that really on, like, you know, the desert or the indoor circuits, but they're also smaller maps. This is quite a bit larger in scale, because it seems to be taking that open approach. Smash these signs up. And we're right near the end here, but it doesn't matter because I've already screwed up multiple times. I mean, you have to drive, I guess you could drive slow and then you could hit all the green and get that achievement. That's probably the easiest way to do it. 8th position, but you wouldn't know because you don't have like a, again, you don't have any reference to understand what the hell you're racing against. So I find that a bit of an oversight in that regard. And we're going to continue and go on to the next one here. And we'll try the American Tour again, but we'll do a different level. Let's do an intense indoor type race here. This should mix things up.
Stadium. I couldn't imagine
Let's get into it.
More exciting
so I think for the most part it's a nice package. And I think it looks pretty good. Plays well. And you get a lot of action going on without there being anything noticeable as far as performance issues. You can see lots of cars just squishing in a tight little environment. And this is one of those smaller maps I was talking about, but still there are even smaller ones. Let's back it up. Back it up, back it up, back it up. I do love the rewind features, and I think like dirt looks good on the ground. It looks very distinct. You don't get to see this with a lot of racing games. They're usually more clean, and they're just starting to get into like the night and the racing styles. And while this is like more presets, I think it works well for the type of racing it is, where you're trying to get that arcadey yet still fun and realistic enough feel. And provide a ton of content, because there's a lot of maps in this across a lot of locations and distinct environments. They do a good job using similar sort of areas and then completely changing up the terrain styles. Like I think there's one I was on that was like literally a figure 8. There's one that's like kind of a loop back and do a circle around, and they all take place within like this coliseum, but it's, you know, distinct. Get going here. And of course you get the various challenges of doing the bosses and all the campaign levels you want, and then you can free race too, and then you can go and race online as well with buddies or against other people competitively. You've got to be kidding me. This damn AI. No, man, first is mine. I fought for it. Fireworks, what? I think that looks pretty good. And cool. Kinda cool. Alright, zoom zoom. And I mean, I do like the presentation as far as being a sort of show that they're putting on. You're like on the Gravel channel. It's a neat touch. Getting some night driving in here, which is cool. So I mean, you get a lot of just variation with it, which keeps it fresh. You're just wanting a game that you can race and have a good time doing it. Whoa, look at that car. That got some height. And obviously you can do things if you want them to be more difficult. And there's regular difficulty settings too. I'm just doing the normal on here because it's not too bad. And I mean, obviously the campaign's gonna have a limit, but there's tons of cars to play with and use, and you're always seeing different cars in the races, which is nice. I don't think it's gonna become stale very easily for anyone, but I could see a point where you're sort of completing the core of the content. And there are quite a few game modes in this, I've noticed. You know, we're doing elimination right now, where the last place person gets knocked out. Whoa, this tree's kind of creep up in the dark. Spooky. Yeah, this is a fairly impressive game visually. Definitely fun to play too. And I maintain my high speed, which is hard to do in this. I don't think I maintained it. Oh, people keep getting eliminated. Try to get my lead going here. Yeah, it's also a very surprising game because I wasn't really expecting this one, to be honest. It just kind of came up on the schedule, and I was like, oh, cool, I'll take a look at it. I've warmed up to the racing titles over the last couple of years, and this is another decent one, definitely. I think it gets a lot of points right, and aside from like some minor technical issues, it's fairly flawless and a well-rounded out package. Bringing enough content to keep me interested. Keep rolling here. I think we're good on the, you know, where I'm going to land up on the positioning of the race, as long as I don't screw up. Always that one AI guy that like pulls ahead and is like right up close to you the entire time, even if you got a demanding lead. And it's also nice that they tried some different weather variants too, and it's night and day. I see some racing games are usually a little bit scared of that, to do all the different types. It's a little overwhelming too. And it's nice to see them more pushing the tech a bit, and what they're able to achieve quality-wise on that. Oh jeez. It's mostly the pop, it just bothers me. So it's very, very noticeable when you're racing and you can see certain objects like up here. Even at night, I think, even though the dark hides it, I can still see that things are like popping in. And I've almost got the win. That's what I'm talking about. So we should be able to get another quick race in here. And an achievement. Achievements are pretty easy in this one. Ooh, the sands of Namibia. I probably said that wrong. Sure, let's do it.
You, that is not us. Welcome to Namibia.
Well, let's get into it.
Fans here.
More desert based, cool. Fast loading on the textures there, that was nice. You can kind of see it on the flag where it was like fading in. But they really went all out with making like 30 elements. It reminds me a lot of the Dirt franchise, which is something I quite enjoyed. Yeah, still seeing some object popping. Yeah, it's not too bad on this. Those camels on the side? That's pretty cool. Oh, damn. Oh, give me a break. Let's see if I can actually make this. Oh, that was close. I do love my rewind. It just makes it more fun to play. Most of these racing games. I don't care enough to be technical about it and restart a whole race because I screw up slightly. This is a pretty cool level. So I mean, that's gravel, you know? It's definitely a different type of racing game if you're looking for something that's more arcade and fun and, you know, just slightly different because it's completely unique in what it aims to do, and it looks pretty good on the enhanced console. If you've got that, I imagine the base version is fine too. And it's mostly just a good time with a lot of tracks and a lot of explosional death. There was no explosions, but, I mean, if it was a movie, I would have exploded there. Wow, no, I've actually got to go back on this one. Because I'm going too fast for my own good. There we go. Oh, that guy got tragically hit a rock. Not a rocket tree. Jeez, I must be out of it. Oh, crap, that's not good. I did not know that was there. pretty crazy going along the beach like this. Oh, that water's pretty cool. It's more like the constant water around a little bit iffy on. Let's roll along here. Oh, crap. Still a lot of race left, though. I'm not too worried. Damn, they get a fairly commanding lead all of a sudden. Could you not, car behind me? Yeah, this is kind of epic in scale. Get a long draw distance on it. Shit. Go, go, go. Giant inflatable banners. Oh, look, it says gravel on the side. That's cool. I think that's a TV screen, though, which makes sense. Although I'm not sure why somebody driving would want to watch themselves on the TV. Whatever. Big jump. Whoa, that car just totally went flying. It's like I am right now. Jeez. I think I could push it, maybe? No. There it looks like it's gonna be. I tried my best. Gravel.